Hey guys, I'm Bryson here and welcome to my show, and today we are about to take a look at a $65 million property that Bill Bilzerian actually owns. You know the guy with the whole girls and stuff like that? Well, this is that guy that lives in a $65 million property in Los Angeles, okay? But let's find out exactly what this is all about. If you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified when I post a new video, and on top of that, also destroy the like button. Without further ado though, let's find out what $65 million gets you in LA. Probably not that much, okay? But let's see.
I've been inside some of the most incredible mansions in LA, but this 31,000 square foot behemoth in Bel Air is...
By the way, Bel Air, one of the most expensive places to actually live. On top of that, 31,000 square feet, guys. The average home is around 1,000 maybe square feet. We're talking about this home is literally 31 times larger than the average home out there, okay? Maybe like the closet is the size of your entire house. That's how crazy this home actually is.
Is one of the most outrageous homes I've ever been invited to see. Yes, that's a 12-foot waterfall cascading into the infinity pool.
That is insane. A 12-foot waterfall cascading into the infinity pool. Whenever you hear infinity pool, usually that sounds like luxury, okay? Luxury, luxury, luxury.
And a giant outdoor gym on the roof. This is the home of the...
I actually think like the outdoor gym is pretty cool. However, you are dealing with, for example, with like metal, right? So wouldn't it get rusty when it actually rains? I know like LA, like it barely rains, but it does rain, right? It does rain. So I don't know how smart of an idea that actually is. Unless it's like stainless metal or something like that, I don't know.
The infamous Instagrammer, Dan Bilzerian. To his 27 million followers, he's known as the king of Instagram.
Yeah, man, this guy right here, whenever you hear Bill Bilzerian, you always hear about has a lot of money, has a lot of girls around him, but you know, he's also a very good gambler, I guess, you know. He's also a very good marketer, a very good businessman, and on top of that, he has his own brand, you know. So this lifestyle, in a way, also makes him a lot of money also, you know, so that's pretty cool.
He started his account in the early days of the platform, portraying a raunchier and more over-the-top lifestyle than Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, that is insane. By the way, he got to start early, but the point is, if you want to be like Bill, you know, you can still start now, but it's just a very expensive way to actually like create an audience. That's the truth.
And that made him very popular. He reportedly paid a mind-boggling $65 million for this mega mansion.
Yeah, man, $65 million is probably more than maybe everyone watching this video combined is ever going to make in their lifetime, okay? $65 million, guys, okay? The average person might make, for example, $1 to $2 million in a lifetime, but $65 million for your home. It's absolutely insane. But then again, let's remember, okay? He can always put down, for example, 10%, pay, for example, 6.5 million, and then pay the mortgage every single month. So that's always a possibility. So don't think about like, hey, 65 million all at once. Usually, no, it's not all at once.
And he invited me over to check it out. I'm dying to see this place and find out how a guy who appears to party for a living can afford it all.
Yeah, I'm also dying to find out exactly how this guy can afford all this stuff. I think he made most of his money like from gambling, from like high stake poker, and he also lost some money, but he also made some big money. So it's a very high stake game. This is what you get with it.
Dan, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
This house is a joke, man. It's too big. It's ridiculous.
That's what we were shooting for.
What is that?
It's done by a famous glassblower. He does like smokable art.
It's covered in...
That is crazy, right? Like as soon as you step into one of these houses, guys, first of all, the doors look magnificent. Magnificent? Yeah, magnificent. And the idea is that almost every single piece in here is probably going to be like, hey, here's a story. This guy actually made this. This guy actually made that. There's a story behind all this stuff, and all this says, hey, everything in this house is very expensive, okay?
goat heads, designed to look like the logo of his cannabis company.
Why don't you show me this house?
Cool.
Oh, I had no idea he had a cannabis company. I thought his company was all about, for example, like the brand, the t-shirt, the bra, but it's also a cannabis company. Okay, that's pretty cool also.
Man, movie theater. This is a bowling alley here.
A bowling alley, a movie theater. You know, again, man, this house is like customized for Bill Bilzerian and what he actually is as a person, okay? Party guy, likes to have fun. I think a house is actually around you is probably pretty cool, right? So I like the idea of having like a bowling alley. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, honestly.
You never know what you're gonna get. Today it's bowling and heels.
Oh!
Look at that.
There it is.
It's just another day in Dan's house,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
That is insane, right? Just another day in Dan's house here with my movie theater and also my bowling alley. By the way, I give a lot of props to anyone that can amass this much wealth. You can't amass this much wealth by a fluke, by just luck. It takes some level of skill also. Let's be honest here.
Next to his 2-lane bowling alley is Dan's 9-car garage. His $2 million vintage Shelby Cobra is on display.
Shelby Cobra, $2 million. By the way, these vintage cars usually, okay, appreciate in value. And by the way, for anyone that ever says, like, for example, oh, Tommy, not all cars lose value, 90% lose value, okay? The 10% that don't lose value are very, very expensive. Like, very, very expensive. Very expensive. Like, $2 million for Shelby Cobra.
Display, spinning like a work of art. Now we head upstairs to check out
Oh my gosh, look at that staircase. Look at that floating staircase. That staircase looks incredible. Incredible.
the rest of the house.
All right.
It actually reminds me of like the Apple Store. Like with the Apple Store here in New York, when you actually go, they have those same stairs right there.
Dan, what do we have here?
Got a dining room, got some living rooms.
And why would anybody need 2 dining rooms?
There's actually 3. That's the one I normally do breakfast at, and then this is more like a big group, and then you got.
Oh my God, you know, like when you have like, for example, this property, let's be honest, right? The upkeep must be insane. But actually, he has like a bunch of people actually coming in and stuff like that, so I get it. But for the normal person, like, what are you gonna do with all this space? I remember like Shaquille O'Neal like bought a house with like 64 bedrooms and like 30 bathrooms, and he would spend like $5,000 in the bathrooms because basically, like they would break down. Like, how are you gonna like pee in all those bathrooms? Okay, the answer is you probably won't. You probably won't use them.
Got the formal deal there.
How many bars?
Got 7 bars.
And he uses all of them. This crazy chicken had
Oh my gosh, 7 bars and he uses all of them. But then again, remember guys, okay, his entire brand is around party, it's around luxury, it's around all this stuff. So in a way, there's also like a business for him, right? So that's the entire idea. And he does all these parties, makes content from it, builds his business even more, which also create more revenue for him. So it is making him money in a very weird way. In a very weird way.
had 3,000 people at his last party.
You know, this is where the DJs or performers set up.
Who's the biggest performer you've ever had in here?
Cardi B, Tyga, Marshmello.
By the way, maybe Kevin O'Reilly does not know who these people are, but if you know these people are very, very famous. Like Marshmello, Cardi B, these performances in this house, it's insane, right? It's crazy.
It's a lot.
Yeah, if you're gonna spend $1 million on a party and somebody blows up the sofa, who cares, right?
Yeah, negligible.
$1 million on a party. But then again, remember this, guys, okay? He's also very smart, most likely with his taxes, right? So in actuality, he's probably deducting all this stuff also. So it might make sense like financially also. I'm not his accountant, but I'm just saying like what his accountant would probably do also, right? So let's be honest here.
Can you write any of this off? Because it's really promoting your brand and your lifestyle.
There you go. Kevin O'Reilly just asked a question that I was actually talking about right there. Let's hear it.
I have to talk to my accountant about all of it. I don't know.
Dan says he made $50 million playing high-stakes poker.
$50 million playing high-stake poker, but this house costs $62 million. Okay, the upkeep is probably a lot more. So the answer is, you know, this guy's doing a lot more. By the way, again, when you buy a house this size, you don't have to put down the full $65 million. Only like around 10 to 20%. So keep that in mind.
So when I spot his card table, that seems like a perfect place to ask Dan how he can afford this lifestyle most people only dream of.
Dan, is poker your primary income now, or have you diversified?
Actually, I don't even really play poker anymore.
Yeah, that's awesome, you know? So basically, he's not even playing poker anymore. At some point, you know, your mainstream of income becomes kind of like, yeah, I did this for like the money, that's great, but now I'm kind of more worried about something else, you know? And I think that happens, for example, every decade. For example, I've been doing YouTube for like the past like 11 to 12 years also, but you know, successfully like almost like a year and a half or something like that. But the answer is after like a decade, I'm probably going to diversify also into different avenues, but while still most likely doing YouTube, because again, I love doing YouTube. But in a decade or so, in 10 years, I'll probably like do something else also to actually like keep me intrigued and keep everything actually going, okay? But you know, in 10 years, a lot can change. Who knows if YouTube is even going to be here in 10 years? Also keep that in mind. You never know.
I got to a point where if I won, I was happy, but I didn't really care that much. And if I lost, I was like really irritated. You know, it was time to move on to something else.
Sounds like
Yeah, that sounds pretty fair, right? It's all about like knowing when like the limits actually come. Like if you win, it's not really giving you the same like intrigue anymore. If you lose, you're like, ah, you know, but It's pretty cool.
You matured as an entrepreneur. You wanted to mitigate risk. You wanted to pursue something where you added value.
Yeah, we're just getting tired of getting kicked in the nuts.
Yeah, because that game, man, that game is very high stake, right? At the end of the day, gambling is gambling, and it's very risky, okay? And last time I checked, there's only one Bill, one, I keep saying Bill, but one Dan Bilzerian, okay? Let's be honest, right? There's only one of him.
Let's get back to the 26 million followers, because in today's world, that's an extremely valuable asset. Most people would try to monetize that, and it sounds like you're attempting to do that.
Yeah. I know people that basically they want to have like multiple followers. Like, oh, I want to have 1 million followers, but then for what exactly? You know, if it's not giving you value, then why do you actually want it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy thing. Just on 1 week in Instagram, I reached almost 500 million people. I think it was like 446 million people.
So what do you...
That is insane, right? So with his reach on Instagram, with like his lifestyle, just by doing something, he can have like that much access to that many people. And again, if you're selling a product, if you even get like 10% of those people to actually buy something, it's a ton of money. It's a ton of money.
What do you want to do with that?
Sell a lot of cannabis.
So let's get into that.
Our
All right, so basically he's using like the social media to sell a lot of cannabis, but like literally not everyone watching him is probably into that. So you'll probably have to diversify into something else also to make some more money. But it's interesting. Let's keep watching.
main focus right now is on the CBD pens, and we're doing THC in the states that are legal for those pens.
Dan's betting big that recreational marijuana will soon be legal in every state.
I mean, you know, you have to keep like, okay, so I'm not like 100% like versatile into this topic here, but the idea is that the states that have legalized like the entire you know, like the whole thing here, the idea is that they're making a lot of money also when it comes to taxes. So it helps the community out a ton, you know. So I wouldn't be like 100% like, oh, that's not gonna happen in the future. Maybe like in the next like 5 to 10 years, like I wouldn't really be surprised if like it was actually legal in every single state. Let's just be honest, right?
And he hopes he can convert his loyal Insta followers into loyal Ignite users.
I think it's going to be the first real global cannabis brand.
But that little pen is nothing compared to the collection of pipes he displays in his 5,600 square foot master suite.
6,400 square feet? That's what he said. That's like 6 times like the size of the average home, okay? He has like all these pipes, all these cool things. And again, this is also cool things you can actually use to actually sell to your people also, right? So it's just a lot of money to make from all these different avenues. So I like it.
This is something very few visitors ever get to see.
So Dan, this is a closet off a bedroom. It looks like maybe her closet.
It was hers. It was my cat, my female cat. But now it's for pipes.
How much do these cost?
I mean, this one here would probably be like $30,000.
$30,000 like for something that you actually use to like inhale smoke, okay? I'm not a part of any of this stuff, okay? But the answer is that's insane, right? That's just stupid, okay? I'm just being honest, okay? $30,000 for this. Well, if it's not like retaining value, if you can't resell them, the answer is no. I'm sorry. There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
You know, Dan, you could get a really nice watch for $30,000. And if this fell on the floor, it'd be worthless.
If I lost, I don't know, hundreds of thousands or $1 million gambling, it probably wouldn't bother me too much. But if I broke one of these, it would be painful.
That's insane, right? That's just crazy. Let's be honest here. It's crazy. And yeah, like Kevin O'Reilly said, you could probably like buy like a watch. And you know, I think every rich person has like that thing that they actually buy. Like maybe like for him is like these bongs or whatever. But for Kevin it's maybe like the watches. But you know, watches also retain value. So there's different things to actually do here. But this right here is purely just for collection.
Dan's clearly passionate about his brand. But if you think his ultimate goal is merely cornering the market on legalized marijuana, you're wrong.
Where do you want to be in 20 years?
The goal is
I think, you know, the answer for a lot of people is usually, I don't even know where I'm going to be tomorrow or like in 5 years. So you can't really ask me that question. You know, I think having like a laid out plan, both short term and long term, is very important, but also being versatile enough to actually change things up, you know? So never be like, hey, you know, I don't know where I want to be in 5 years or 10 years. It's like, let's see what happens. The answer is no, don't go throughout life like that. Have like long term and short term goals. And that way you know exactly like, okay, I have this plan. If it doesn't work out, okay, that's great, but at least you plan to have something, and that's the overall idea, right?
to make a couple $2 billion in cannabis, give a bunch of it away, do some charity, spend more time surfing in Hawaii, and then I want to be president.
You want to be president of the United States?
Yeah, I think I can do it.
Oh my God. So he said basically, you know, I basically just want to make a few $1 billion in the cannabis industry. Then I want to spend some time surfing and stuff like that. And then I want to become the president. And he says it so naturally because basically when you get to this level of wealth, right, it's kind of like saying like, hey, I can do whatever I want to do and whatever I set my mind off to. And, you know, I could say like, hey, that's not true. But again, in 10 years or 15 years, who knows where we're actually going to be living, right? Who knows who Dan Bilzerian is actually going to become, if he's going to change like in any way or whatever. And who knows if anybody would even care about like the whole like recreational whatever it is, okay? So the answer is we'll see what happens. But do I believe him? The answer is I do not believe him, okay? I think it's possible. I think anything is possible, especially when you have like shown like who you actually became just by believing in yourself, okay? So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Will Dan really be able to parlay his 27 million Instagram followers into both a billion-dollar cannabis company and the White House? Or are those just pipe dreams that will go up in smoke? Who knows?
Yeah. We don't know. Who knows?
But one thing's for sure. Watching him try will be very entertaining.
Yeah, definitely watching him try will be very entertaining. And also a very good story to actually tell to your kids, right? But guys, that's about it for this video. Comment down below and let me know what you thought. And again, you know, I noticed one thing. Most of these things right here are deductible, right? All these parties, all this stuff, all this promotion, usually it's deductible. Most of it's deductible. And even, for example, those things he buys, like the bongs, the expensive ones, I just thought about it also. It's also deductible. And even the cars might be deductible, okay? So the answer is this guy has a very, very good accountant and also knows exactly what he's doing. And in the future, he might as well actually have what he says he's going to have, okay? So that's pretty cool also. But guys, comment down below and let me know what did you think about this. You know, I was less impressed about the mansion than actually I'm impressed about Dan and who he's actually become and is going to become in the future. We'll see. I'm tuned in. Hopefully you guys are tuned in also. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And as always, like this video. If you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified. And also follow me on Instagram, Bryson. And also on top of that, if you want to watch a video basically on a $32 million house in LA also, we'll watch the video right here and click me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And as always, peace.